Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome back to another video. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what I got for you right now. If you like those German luxury brands that give you luxury galore, that makes those cars look so attractive, but then you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, you don't want to make your pockets and your bank account cry together for many years. Maybe these were the cards that you might like to see. Let's give it a proper presentation. What I got for you right now, it's a 143 scale BMW 316i. And this is the compact. Now, what did I mean about a model that will not make you cry like maybe their bigger siblings? Because as you're familiar with the 3 Series is one of the cheapest BMWs to start with. And this one being the 316 is kind of like it's kind of like the entry level of the hatchbacks or the sedans on the 3 Series. So obviously, by the smaller the number, the smaller the engine. Like the 323s will have a bigger engine than the 316. And usually, the last two numbers from the 3 Series will tell you more or less the size of the engine. Usually, that's the way it goes. Now, going back to these models, as you're familiar with this BMW, this is the third generation of the BMW 3 Series. They are considered a compact executive car because they still part of BMW. They were in production between 1990 till 2000. Okay, assembly lines. There's quite a few different ones. They have at least like 7 countries. They have Germany. They have South Africa, the United States, Mexico, Indonesia, Egypt, and the Philippines. Okay, these models, I mean, altogether, the 3 Series, they came in a 2-door coupe, a 2-door convertible, a 3-door hatchback, a 4-door saloon or sedan, or a 5-door wagon. Okay, they were considered a front engine, rear wheel drive vehicle. Engines, as you're familiar, they go from a 1.6 to a 1.9 4-cylinder. Obviously, depends on the model itself. This is a 1.6 because it's the smallest of them all. Then you also have a 2.0 to a 3.2 liter, and those were 6-cylinder engines. And then if you look for diesels, because you found diesels are a little cheaper to drive, at least it gives you better gas mileage. They have a 1.7 4-cylinder, or the bigger brother, which will be the 2.5 6-cylinder. The one before was a 4-cylinder. Okay, now transmissions. They have a 5-speed manual, also a 6-speed manual. They gave you also a 4-speed automatic or a 5-speed automatic. Obviously, depends on when you bought this car. Usually the example, the 4-speed automatic, it was probably the beginning of the when this model came out, and then the 5-speed automatic must have been later in the years of the model itself. That's why usually they refresh the vehicle itself. Now, if you're familiar with the Car and Driver magazine, is I would probably say is the most important magazine featuring automobiles and new automobiles in the United States. It was on the 10 best list for every year. It was on sale. The hatchback, the one that we're looking at right now, numbers, they didn't sell as many. In North America, the sedan was the number one, and the coupe also. But the sedan was the most sold model, also with the coupe. The hatchback have very. That's why the one that came after this one, and the hatchback, they did not sell them in North America. They didn't bring them back because of the low sales. Okay, everyone. By the way, before I forget, this is a 143, like I mentioned before, diecast model, and it's made by Schuco. After I said that, I'm gonna let it go around a few times, and I'll be right back. Okay, everyone. I gotta tell you, this diecast is very well made. The only thing I don't like that the doors open, but since I try to keep them closed always, I don't open them because once you start opening and closing, it starts getting very like flimsy and they start losing the grip and then they're hanging and I can't stand that. That will drive my nerves into the roof. And I like the interior color. It kind of blends the same color with the outside, so it's a very red color, very red interior. So the car really, if red is not your color, then this may not be the one that you want to buy. But obviously they made them in different colors. It's only a saying. But red is one of those colors that most of the people love them. Just a very few. One time, just I'll let you know this real quick before I forget. Insurances, car insurances in the United States are quite expensive. But one time I heard, and I think it was actually true, that red cars were the most expensive cars to insure because they usually are more attractive for the people that want to steal them, because red represents sportiness and vibrant. It's like the yellow. For me, yellow and red, obviously, are red. Those are the number one colors for like sportiness and attractiveness. All right, everyone. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about this BMW. Did you like them? Did you like the hatchback? Or you were more into the sedan or the coupe or the wagon or the convertible? I like the hatchback. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a little different. The rear end gives me a different look. It just wants it's like a car that wants to separate from their parents but is not letting them do it because at the end of the day he's still underage and he cannot leave the house. That's the type of story this car gives me. And it's very a youthful type of car. I think this car must have been popular with youngsters. That's the vibe it gives me. College kids that are coming out of high school and they want to drive with their friends to, I don't know, the nightclub on a Saturday night. All right, everyone. Don't forget to click and subscribe. Thank you so much. And don't forget to give me a nice thumbs up. I truly, truly appreciate. Thank you and goodbye.